and that God said that she was wrong for trying to keep me from my son. God said she's trying to keep me from my son. So I'm very disappointed in all the people who were involved to try to tear down my image. People that were involved with trying to have me arrested, with people that were involved with trying to create other cases outside of the criminal case. I don't have any warrants for anything. I've had warrants checked, and I don't have any warrants, and the Holy Spirit warned me that they are going to try to create some kind of reason. And I'm raising money, I don't know what I need to be raising money for, because I'm trying to survive. I've contacted every lawyer that I could pull up in the search history and wherever to try to call, and they all said they only represent criminals, which was very sad. This is not a child custody court hearing. This is what they tried to paint it out to be, but my child should have never been given to Cynthia Olvera, period. I was not innocent, and I was charged. I already had a house and everything, regardless of how I was paid for. I was taken out of my home. I lost my residence, period. I lost my residence. I was falsely accused. I was wrongfully incarcerated. I was abused in the facility. And then the state has also been involved with criminal activity since I was released. So this is not it's being masked as I had a child custody hearing where they gave custody of my child to Cynthia Olvera, and trying to make me. I have not once been to see my son since the shooting, because I was incarcerated for so long. And when I got out, they had it to where I had to go see him in a supervised facility. And then when they gave custody of my child to Cynthia Olvera, I knew that it was far too corrupt for me to be anywhere in Montgomery County. So this is why I stayed away from my son, because the people tried to murder me and cover it up. That's why I stayed away. And then they had people all over the state of Texas trying to help paint me out to be this unfit mother, so that I could not appeal, and then to try to have me arrested for something else, and then try to cover this whole thing up. It was by the grace of God that I've been able to get out of those traps. So this is far bigger than me trying to get my son from Cynthia Olvera. Yes, I want to get my son from Cynthia Olvera, but my son should be ordered to be given back to me immediately. And they should be ordered to give us back our home. Somebody needs to order for my car to be replaced. My car, my home for me and my children. A doctor for my body. And it shouldn't be nothing else to it. Ain't no pointing no fingers at me and blaming me for nothing. For once in y'all life, for once, I pray they just do the right thing for once. Because this is wrong. Nobody should have been hurting me. Period. And for once, I pray that somebody stand up for me, because I have never had anybody truly stand up for me that wasn't for their own glory. For once, somebody needs to stand up for me who have the power to say, do right by Andrea Jones. Give her her baby. Give her her car. Give her her house. Give her her son. Give her a doctor. Stop this madness against Andrea Jones. And I don't have nobody to do that. That's why I'm not talking to my family. And they trying to contact me after I've been reaching out, and I don't want to hear it, because I was calling to them when I was in the back of the jail, telling them they was poisoning me, and people were saying they tried to do the best they could. They have threatened to kill my entire family for telling, but I know my family is alive and they're well, and I know that God gonna bring them through, so I'm not worried about that. He gonna bring me through. I'm not worried about that. So my biggest concern right now is the safety of Melbourne, because he belongs to be with me. I shouldn't have to, whatever people do on their own time, that's what you do on your own time. But when you have my son and you trying to set me up and lie about it and then cover it up, and you don't want people to know, I have every right to not want my son with those kind of people. And it showed me what this country was really built upon, and my son needs to be returned to me, and people, there's a very gross darkness over this earth, and especially over the state of Texas, because the fact that I shot a gun in self-defense has shown me the darkness that's in a lot of black people, that they don't stand for one another, that they are very evil, that they are very wicked, that they like to see bad things happen to one another, and that they are involved with this satanic cult, because there's no reason why I should have been out for a whole year, and all of this time frame, all this wickedness have been done to my body, and my child, and my baby. So God said that black people have become terrorists because you decided to help torture me, to cover all of this up. And then the Lord showed me, you need to cry out. You need to cry out and tell people that they're trying to find a reason to arrest you, because you're not guilty of anything. I'm not guilty. He said she's not guilty. I'm not guilty of anything. Everybody knows that I'm not guilty. So that's very wicked for everybody to know that I'm not guilty, and for not one person to have stood up and said that's wrong and y'all need to stop what you doing. That's evil as hell. She been pregnant. They took this woman house, son, car. She was not guilty. Ain't no you gonna tear her down and throw her in the streets and do none of that crap to her. Not one person. Now I might have had somebody try to help us out with some funds, but like I said, that's very evil, because they were sitting back hoping that they could find a reason to throw me back to them, and still right now in the midst of the situation, they hoping to God that I don't make it out. They hoping to God that I do not make it out of this, that I don't get my son. They hoping I don't get my place back. They hoping I go to jail for something. They hoping I get killed. They hoping people never find out the fact that I'm pregnant. They hoping that they could get away with this bullshit. They hoping that the people that got money and power can try to dismember my body just like they did the other girls. And I got family that's over here trying to contact me. I don't know what you contacting me for, because they knew when I said if your daughter or your family member come to you and say they know that they pregnant, and you know that they dealing with some white racist brotherhoods, and they all affiliated at the doctors and at these different clinics, and they lying, and your daughter that done been pregnant before come to you telling you that she pregnant, and your sister come to you telling you that she pregnant, and you gonna believe some white folks, or you gonna let them mentally abuse her and say she not pregnant when you know that she is, and you gonna put her out on the streets? And you ain't gonna get her a lawyer and come stand next to her in the courtroom and say, my sister want her son back, give her back her son. You gonna let me go by myself and kick me out of your house before the custody court date and make up all these reasons as to why you did it, and then turn around and let me go to the child custody court date by myself with only a couple of racist white folks in the room, and let them give my son to Cynthia Olvera? Y'all don't love me. You never did. Because I can tell you about all the evil things my family done to me. But I'm not going to do that, because it's not about them, and they're not going to make it about them. If I'm going to be killed, it's because I told the truth. It's because I told what's really going on in this country. I told what's really, really going on. That people are Satanists, because ain't no people that's of God going to sit around and allow that kind of crap to happen to somebody in their community or in their family. Even if you hear about it, you're going to try to do something for that person to try to help them. You're not going to be involved with trying to, be a character witness against the person when you know they was wronged. That I was the one wronged. But they all wanted to stand up for Austin because he's white. and because of money. And God was like, certain people was treating me like I wasn't good enough because they said that, oh, they treated me like I'm not good enough because they said I don't have money. But had I had money, then they have been all right there trying to act all buddy with me. It's very uncomfortable for me to keep sitting up. So I got certain family members who I would call when I was trying to talk to them about what was going on in my life when Austin was going to jail, and I was trying to tell people in my family what was going on, and they was telling me they had to call me back and not answering the phone when I really needed somebody to talk to about what was going on, and they was making it seem like, oh, they ain't want to hear what I had to say, but I was being abused, and I was in and out of abusive relationship, and none of them didn't come forward. When I was being held in the back of the Montgomery County Jail and they was poisoning me, they didn't come forward to be like, oh, I know that he's really been abusing her. Is there any way I could talk to her and come visit her, and try to talk to her lawyer or talk to the judge or talk to anybody because I know a little bit about what's going on? Nothing. And they did not try. When I had my phone and they had my number and they could have called me, I had been out for a minute. And they knew about the child custody hearing. They knew my son got took, but that's what they wanted. They wanted to be able to say, oh, she out now. And she claiming she pregnant, but they didn't confirm her pregnancy. That's what they wanted. They wanted to keep seeing how far these evil, racist white people would go against me. And they wanted to sit there and be like, well. And then when it was time for me to go get my son, none of them had helped me. They made me walk for miles trying to find jobs and they wouldn't hire me. And then said over there, oh, well, they took her son. But they were supposed to be right there with me, making sure they gave him back. Giving me the emotional support that I needed up until the hearing to make sure that I was okay. And they didn't do that. And then I changed my number because I was like, I don't want nothing else to do with my family. Nothing. Nothing. Because if your life and your kids is that important to where, you feel that your family, is more important or whatever, the first thing they did was call Cynthia Olvera. When they found out about the shooting, and they knew because I had been telling them that Austin was abusing me, and I tried to go stay with some family members too because I didn't want to be abused. And for them to be calling Cynthia Olvera trying to see about Austin instead of trying to help your sister, your family, that was just completely out of line. And they was in there trying to murder me before my trial because I'm innocent. I was protecting myself, but they don't give a damn about me that much to where they felt like it was a crime for me to protect myself. So I guess it would have been better for him to just have taken my life, and they would have been more satisfied with that. So they contacted me, and I do not talk to them. Because another one of my family members was trying to ask me if I had a job yet while people was out here trying to kill me. And you over here trying to talk about if I got a job because she was jealous because I was able to stay at home with my son and someone was helping me with my bills. So instead of you worrying about have they returned her son, have they done right by my sister, you gonna sit there and talk about, oh, well, do you got a job yet to take care of yourself since you just living off of folks? That's how they was trying to make it seem. And that's very wicked. And I pray, Jesus Christ, you please anoint my tongue because I do not want to sugarcoat anything. And I need to have the courage to stand up for myself. Somebody tried to murder me. Ain't no making up no damn excuses and talking about, oh, well, it ain't excuses. That could have helped you from being abused. Ain't no what it could have helped me. Don't blame me. Ain't no blaming me. He should not have been hurting me. And see, that's the one thing about Jesus Christ that I love. He is the truth. He the truth. And he said nobody should have been hurting me. That's the bottom line. Austin Matter shouldn't have been abusing me and my son. That's the bottom line. And he said that y'all terrorists. Y'all terrorists because you making an excuse.